which go, I think he's going to say something.
Well, my question is just, we see you guys rocking the 6-pointed star and everything, and a layman's interpretation might be to think that you have issues with Jewish people. Or how do you feel about Jews in general and like the Jewish state of Israel?
Jews in general, or the Jewish man, we look at him as the imposter. He's not the original Jewish man. He's not the only way we can identify who the children of Israel are is to go to the book about the Israelites, which is the Bible. So if you go to the Bible, they don't match the people of the book. The Jewish state became a Jewish state in 1947 after World War II, when they just divided Palestine, which is why they're at war right now. They just divided Palestine and by force created an Israeli state. But that's not their land. I believe there was an Egyptian prime minister that said the Jews left black and came back white. Nobody believes that they're the people. Helen Thomas, one of the secretaries for the White House, when they asked her what does she think about the conflict, she says, well, they should go back home. And the reporter's laughing. It's like, what do you mean by that? She said, well, they're from Germany, they're from Poland. They should go back home. They fired her later that day because she told the truth. So they're just not the children of the book. They're the imposters of the book. That's how we look at them.
Why is it that whenever black people claim their Jewish heritage, they say that is anti-Semitic? We always hear that trope.
Anti-Semitic is a weird term because biblically speaking, Shem, anybody that comes from the man named Shem, that's what Semitic is a English word, right? It's short for Shem. Shem is a man that had children, and they eventually became different tribes. So the Arabs technically are Shemitic. We are Shemitic. Whites are Shemitic. Asians are Shemitic. They're all Shemitic people. The Jewish man, I think in the 1800s, coined the term Semitic to be specifically about them. And it's really a trick bag.
Right.
It's a straight up and down. It doesn't matter what you say. If they deem it as derogatory, it's anti-Semitic, which basically means if you don't say everything out your mouth pro-Jewish, you're anti-Semitic. And the reason why they look at us that way is because they don't want to give what is rightfully ours. So they have to discredit us, because if we are Jews, let's say the Israelis are the Jewish people, and then we lay claim to that, we say we the lost tribes, they would have to by right give us the same things that they're giving their own Jewish people.
Right. Because historically, the person who spread a lot of the knowledge of Judaism into Europe was a black dude named Eldad the Danite.
Right.
Around the 8th or 9th century, he became a celebrity. He was saying that there was a tribe of Jewish people in East Africa.
Right.
Not too long ago, about a couple of decades ago, they did a DNA test on this tribe in Africa, found out they were really Jews, and they never said anything else about it.
Right.
So it's proven scientifically and historically that.
But again, that means
you got a
land.
whole tribe in Africa that was all Jewish.
Yeah.
Right. Jews. Right.
And they
saying your kind of Jew.
Right, my kind of Jew.
Like the Israelites.
Right, an Israelite. And so what that means is land, inheritance, the same way, like Jewish people make sure that they stay within their own ecosystem as far as taking care of their own. But now if they recognize the black people that are laying claim to that, they would have to give them the same thing.
Right.
And they're not going to do that.
Right.
Because, of course, they're not the people, and they've just learned to monopolize that term. They've learned to take over and monopolize, and it's really through their military power. I mean, America funds the hell out of them. Even in this Israeli-Pakistani war, if you say, like, they just fired this black woman who was an attorney in New York because she chose to be pro-Palestine. Now, I'm not pro neither, and I pray no black person makes really an opinion. This is their war. This has nothing to do with us. I don't know if y'all heard what Amari Stoudemire said. Did you hear what Amari?
What he said?
Amari Stoudemire said.
Oh, I did hear what he said. Yeah.
When he said, "Fuck you, the black people that don't support the Israeli people."
Well, that's what you just asked. Yeah.
Yeah, Amari Stoudemire made a video where he said, if you black and don't support the Israelis, fuck you. That's exactly how he said it.
Right.
And what's weird about that
is he Israelite?
He's a Jewish type of Israelite, though. Like, he's like over there, like he wear the black hat and, dress and act just like them. The weird part about the Israeli-Palestine thing is that in war, there's innocence on both sides. When you blowing stuff up, you're not blowing up Hamas. You're blowing up the civilians that have nothing to do with the war. When you do anything to the Israelis, you're not blowing up the enemies.
That's like hitting my neighborhood and thinking everybody Paul Rose.
Exactly. And so the earth wants everybody to have all the compassion on the Israelis, but they don't want them to have any compassion on the Palestinians, which makes no sense to me because it's war. Nobody's innocent. You can't divide a land in half, displace the people that was in there, implant the Israeli people in there, and then expect them to lay down.
They brought a map. They brought a map. Remember, in the room,
right? And
they were showing how much of this used to be Palestine,
right,
versus how much is just Israel. They've taken the land. And Palestinians, they were reduced to this little dot over here, right?
Yeah.
So when I first was hearing everything, I really wasn't paying any attention. It sounded like the Palestinians was doing all the stuff to people from Israel.
Right.
Until I went on Clubhouse, and actually, I went to Blue Moon, and the owner of Blue Moon, he's Palestinian. And he said, man, your friend, speaking on the wrong side. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he started showing me all this stuff, and some dude named Sean King or something. Some dude.
Tariq's got a lot to say about that.
I don't know.
I'm cool with Sean King.
You cool with Sean King?
I'm cool.
So when I go to Sean King's page, right, he's showing what I'm seeing there.
Wait, we're giving him white?
They say he's white. I don't know. He say he's black, but
ain't no real proof of that though, right?
Whoever this dude is, everything that I thought it was to be,
right,
he's showing it was the opposite. So then I started asking questions. So then they like, well, they're controlling the media, they're feeding the media, that is this, that is that is this, or is that. And I'm gonna be real, quite naturally, I think stuff's been done on both sides.
That's what I'm saying. Like, neither side is innocent. It's a war. You can only fix the problem when the war is over. Unfortunately,
so wrong for standing with his people?
He wrong for saying if black people don't support the Israelis, fuck you. Like, we just supposed to blindly support the Israelis no matter what. That's like me telling y'all to just support me. Y'all don't know me.
Right.
If you don't know me and I tell y'all to support me and fuck you if you don't, your first instinct is to say, I'm not supporting you because you're putting me in a either ride or leave position instead of telling me why.
And there's this desperate attempt to drag us black people into that conflict.
Right.
We ain't got nothing to do with none of it, to be honest.
And who fights in our conflict?
Right. Because the black people who are saying something, you got a lot of black people getting fired.
Right.
Whatever side
that
you
lawyer,
take.
that was a $250,000 job she lost. Just because she expressed an opinion that was more on the Palestinian side than the Israeli side.
Right. A sister who's a professor at a university, she said, hey, I support Palestine. Oop, you're anti-Semitic. And she lost her job. So black folks need to stay out of this bullshit, as far as I'm concerned.
Stay out of it or fight to have freedom of speech?
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. But the thing is if we're going to do the freedom of speech thing, let it be for something that benefits black society and not these other people. My thing is, because we're fighting for freedom of speech.
A lot of us do business with people, with the Israelis.
But that's the realization that a lot of the white, left-leaning, liberal people in America had, is that they went all in on BLM, and now they're realizing that a lot of those people from BLM are not so friendly to your Jewish roots as you might have expected.
We just hit 600,000 subscribers on the Clips channel right here. We're trying to get to 700, so you know what to do. Smack that red button and subscribe. Appreciate you.